Hey everybody, welcome back to Second Wind Homestead. I'm out here in the backyard. I think we'll start back here to kick off the garden tour for the week. Cucumbers are doing really well. All the way up, over halfway down. I did see some female blooms over there, hopefully getting pollinated. Both sides are up, and then the zippers. Let's see, we'll get you up here. Zippers are climbing up the trellis. We're already, just from last week, we already have them all the way up to there. Most of them are at least on the trellis, if not already halfway up. We'll have to add some height to that this week. Aquaponics is doing well. I'm going to start harvesting some celery out of here this week. The ginger on top of the tower here, it's getting nice and tall. I think it's added another leaf or two. Green onions are doing well, as are the little basil seedlings that I've got in there. Peppers up top are doing well. The giant Marconi's still hanging on. It looks like it might be starting to get some color on those there. The Anaheim, he's getting some pretty color on him. I did have to pull out the pimento. I just made the decision trying to keep it from, if it is some sort of disease, getting everything else. Green onions are good. The little snacking peppers, I've got a few of those that are starting to get some color on them in there. Our strawberry tower is doing good. Since we fertilized it, it's taken off. It's put out a bunch more berries, and I've noticed I've got sending out runners, lots of runners, so I may try and root some of these. I think this one's the White Carolina, so I'll definitely try and root some of those because I didn't have very many of those work from the bare root patch. Our squash over here, we did lose several to those stupid bugs. The squash vine borers, I think it took out 3 or 4 of these. But Audrey's zucchini on the end is looking good. The mystery one there is looking fine. That one back there is trying to survive. We'll see. This one up here looks a little raggedy, but there's another one growing up and vining under it. It's a mystery too. I haven't seen a female, still haven't seen a female bloom, so I'm not sure what kind. And that little one back there, he's trying. He did get hit with the borers, but he's trying. I'll do my best to get out here and weed this week. That grass, I think, grows faster than anything else. And coming up the side, our tires are doing really well. We only lost one of the Santa Claus melons so far. It just didn't make it, but the other one's looking okay. All the rest are looking wonderful. The sugar babies have got some new leaves. The white boar pumpkin, they're getting huge, and I believe that's birdhouse gourds in with them. These are more of the white boar pumpkins. Everything's looking all right. The Italian zucchinis, and we added 2 more tires this week. I've got to finish planting out that one. I've got some Jack-B little pumpkins I started that can go out. But these are all looking good. Fig tree, we still don't have any figs ripening yet, but it is still loaded. If we can get a good, yeah. And then we'll come around the back side today. Let's see, we've got our experimental potatoes over here. They're doing all right, you know, not spectacular, but they're hanging in there. Just gonna let them go and see what we get out of them this year. We've got the okra. It's finally starting to put a little bit more growth on it. We're probably at 8 to 10 inches now. I'm letting those, I got a couple onions going to seed, so we're just going to let those. We have planted sunflower seeds out here with the okra at least twice, if not 3 times. A variety of different kinds, different brands. I think I have 2 sunflowers in here. I don't know if something's digging them up or what, but I guess I don't get sunflowers this year, but that's all right. We pulled a bunch of the onions this week. We left a few, the ones that are flowering, and a couple that I think might give me a little bit more growth. That volunteer zipper pea is blooming. So it's doing well. This zipper here that volunteered on the edge of the trellis is doing really well. We actually have beans all over it. And it's most of the way up. Let's see, I'll go ahead and pull this piece back in. They like to get away from you. It's my height already on the trellis. On this side, the loofah, look how much it's grown since last week. It was down here, the top of that T-post last week. We're 2 more sections all the way up here. Tomato in the back is alright. These zucchini, they're starting to form some flowers. We'll see how they do. This tomato's hanging in there. The asparagus beans, they're doing well. They're still putting out for me. I'm getting a bunch of beans every couple of days. I've got a really, ooh, I see a really long one. Like I said, I just flick them to get the ants off. And then, you know one? He's really big. I'll measure him later and we'll see how he does. But yeah, the noodle beans, we have them hanging off all the way. It's really fun when these get over the top of the trellis and they're all hanging down in the walkway as you walk. It's really fun. The eggplants are doing good. I've got a couple of the white eggplants on there forming on both of the white eggplants. I have a black beauty eggplant forming and it has more blooms. And this is the pink eye peas, and I've got a couple back there I need to pick, and there's a bunch more that are getting big. This rattlesnake bean started putting out some more for me, which is good. It's good to see. My stevia is still sprawling all over the place, but the pineapple mint is in with it, that beautiful variegated mint there. These beans, I don't know, they're not great, but they'll be alright. Several of these squash that I had up here, they had got hit by the squash vine borer and they are gone. I just have not pulled them off the trellis yet. These beans are alright. The dragon tongues are putting out more beans for me. I've been harvesting off of those this week too. I think my purple potted rattlesnake, let's see if I can get it where the sun's not killing you there. Oh, it's dry. I'll pull that in, and the one I saved for seed, I'll take that in and let it dry out. Make sure it's totally dry. This bean has gotten huge and it's just now started to set flowers. So hopefully within the next week or so we'll start getting some fruit off of it. Audrey's kiwi is doing well. It's still climbing up. It's as tall as me now on the trellis. My boysenberries are hanging in there. They do like they've got some new growth on them. I came in and I weeded out the volunteer zippers from right around it. Try and give it a better chance there. Luna's tower here is doing awesome. She's got a zinnia and a marigold. And she's got a pretty blue flower over there. I'm trying to remember what that one was called that she planted. But they're doing really well in that one. Our little patio pickers pepper one. Look at these peppers, guys, from when I showed them to you when they didn't even have any leaves. We did lose one that just did not make it, but the others, I mean, look at all those leaves. They're doing great. Absolutely great. My echinacea finally opened to bloom up in my wheelbarrow I have in the front here. The purple kale's alright, but you can see I'm getting some bug damage. I'll come out and spray that with some BT this week if we get a day where we don't have any rain. It's probably 95% humidity or more. We were over 100 degrees today. It's hot and we've had showers. Once again, we're kicking back into the showers every day. But alright, the green stalk is doing awesome. And look at the size. Look at this. This is my Trinidad scorpion. I think last time it was a full foot shorter. It has taken off. There are, let's see if I can get under there. There are baby little scorpion peppers on there, and then the habanero that's hiding inside of it, it has some fruit too. I saw some earlier. The only problem is those are so big, they're drowning out the sunlight for that one little derpy pepper that's left, so I may try to move him. We did lose one of the derpy peppers in this tower as well. I already pulled him out, so I might move that one over to the spot the other one was at. The Carolina Reaper, he's still hanging in there. He's not looking near as well as this scorpion, but it's alright. The basil's getting tall. The leeks are doing alright. Audrey's little kale that she planted is looking good. It's coming up. There's that other scorpion pepper peeking out on this side. And then she was excited. She saw something earlier. I don't remember. Oh, I know what she saw. She had planted some chives in her tower. And she was all excited because they're popping up. They're popping up. Her tower is not, like I said, it's not doing near as well as Luna's, but she does have some kale down in the bottom that's doing alright. And there's some basil hiding over here. That's hanging in there. It's not doing great, but it's hanging in there. My little green one's in the front. The basil's still flowering. I said I'm just leaving it. I'll shake it over the pots and I'll get some more seedlings from it before summer's over. The little carrots underneath it seem to be doing alright. This one, once again, all the seedlings got eaten all the way out of it. Turn it around. I just spotted. I have to show y'all. This is where we had a big bed in the center. And it got just so overgrown, we didn't take great care of it. And we're finally getting in there and we're slowly reclaiming this area. And this is where my husband has dug up. You can see all my oregano that's still trying to survive. But there's a zipper. And I've noticed I have a ground cherry there and a ground cherry out there. So, and another zipper. So I'm going to have to put something around those so those don't get mowed. That's funny. Gotta love it. Even if the things you try to plant don't make it, something else comes up in our yard. My little snapdragon's doing alright. I think I need to come out and collect some more seed maybe. That blueberry's doing well. The garlic still is, hanging in there. That blueberry's good. Our 3 big ones are looking great. They seem to be taking really well to being transplanted. Audrey's chives are blooming. That garlic looks the best out of all of them. It's the thickest, I think. The tomato, one of the tomatoes we got. Another garlic. Hopefully out of all the garlic I have something reasonable. One of the other tomatoes, it looks like I'm going to have to come out and check tonight for a hornworm. See how everything's just eaten off? I will have to come check for a hornworm tonight with my blacklight flashlight. Hornworms will fluoresce under blacklight, so you can come out on a good dark night with the flashlight, and they just pop right out, and you can pick them off. You can find them when they're really small, before they get huge and destroy your plant totally. That little volunteer pepper's doing alright. And that tomato. This pot of potatoes is next on the list to get harvested because it's about all dead. That pepper's hanging in there. My little persimmon's doing alright, even though it's a poor lopsided tree. Lemon tree's hanging in. I do have a couple of fruit on it. I think I have 4 total. My indigo rose, my poor tomatoes this year, guys, I don't know what is going on. I've lost pretty much all of my first planting of tomatoes, and I don't know if it's disease, heat, rain, combination of all or some of those, but this is the worst year I think I've had for tomatoes in 10 years. But the indigo rose was doing well. It is covered in fruit that's slowly ripening for us, but it has lost all of its leaves, as has the Sweet 100. The eggplant I have harvested those off this week. Oh, I have a volunteer lemon basil in that pot I see. This tomato, he's starting to look puny, and that's the first 3 fruit I've seen on it, and it's about to go too. I have a bad feeling. This was I think it's Delicious is what this variety is. It's supposed to be the world's biggest tomato or something. The kids wanted to get that one, and it's not looking so hot either. I've been coming out and pruning, but it's been raining so much I can't spray anything. So once again, this one, which is our better boy, he's miserable too. And then all of a sudden, my banana pepper started looking really bad. So I came out and harvested most of the fruit off of it, and I've been trying to baby it back. I don't know. My bell pepper over here, look, they're turning colors. I've already picked one, the smallest of them. The other two are changing colors. I've harvested a few jalapenos this week that were ripening up. All right, we're over here at the watermelon patch. The little volunteer squash are all doing well. This oregano is blooming like crazy. During the day, it is absolutely covered in bees. But peeking out all around it is my watermelon. It is climbing both ways. It's all the way out over, almost off the black fabric over there. It sent another runner out from the top. It's looking great. Audrey's rosemary. My zinnias are doing the, see, I have one zinnia too that got big and was starting to put a bloom on, and then it just started wilting. Like I said, I've been trying to baby it too. It's been so hot. You try and water and then it turns around and rains and you're like, well, maybe I shouldn't have watered. But if you don't water, everything dies. But the first wicking barrel, I have 4 little gingers popping up now. And then of course that Swiss chard and the carrot. This one has still got my jalapenos. They do have fruit all over them. And it has a couple of ginger popping up in there as well. The first one has some ginger coming up. This poblano too. This plant is probably 4 foot tall, guys. And it is starting to put out another round of blooms. So hopefully I'll get some more fruit off of it. And then the basil, probably come harvest what isn't flowering on that one. I think I have 2 plants that were in that pot actually. So I'll come and get those. I don't think I've shown y'all before. Pardon my mop that was put out here to dry and forgotten. I've got a whole tray there I've started from of rosemary cuttings that they seem to have all rooted. They've been in there probably about a month now. And my aloe I divided up and repotted. Wanted to show you back here in the greenhouse. This is how I have temporarily stuck my onions for drying. I didn't have a whole lot, but I had absolutely no space in my house right now to do it. So I've put them out here in the greenhouse, and I have just draped an extra little vinyl tablecloth to keep any stray rain that might blow in or some sun off of them to get them to dry enough to be able to fit in the house. Alright everybody, thanks for watching and God bless y'all. Hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!